Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday or happy Saturday night if this is Saturday still in where you are. So, this is Sue. I am the Feng Shui consultant. So, we are continuing our Feng Shui Hacks 6-day marathon training for Solopreneurs. So, I hope you have already catch up on the trainings in the previous 3 days. And are already feeling inspired by the information that I've shared. Today, we will dive a little bit deeper and to take a look at your living space. Because I believe if you are a solopreneur, most of the time when you work, you work in your home space, right? So let's take a look at your living space and to find out and assess if your living space is backing you up energetically. All right, so we will see that from several perspectives. The first perspective is to check the mouth of the chi. So we will investigate where the chi comes in and comes out. So tell me, in your living space, how the chi go in and go out? They are either coming through the doors, right, or the windows, or the balcony, and our air conditioners, which is something that most people would ignore when not careful. So the main door or the main entrance is a really important concept and foundational principles that in Feng Shui we really consider truly important, because it's like the mouth of where the chi, where the life force energy comes in and goes out. And if the quality of the chi of the main entrance is not good, for example, when you open the door, you would have some kind of foul smell. Perhaps you live near a rubbish dump area, which is right in front of your main door. Or maybe when you open your door, like when you are opening your door to try to get out every morning, you see a major blockage in front of your door, like a tree, like a building, like something that blocks your vision immediately when you open your front door. That's not a very positive influence to the energy coming into your door. There could also be some kind of annoyance or constant digging or construction site in front of your windows or your door, then that could consider as negative influences as well. Or maybe you live near a very busy traffic area, like a 24 hours highway just nearby your windows in your bedroom. If you are living near the 24-hour highway, it means that you'll hear about the noises of the vehicles. You will hear about the noises of the vehicles every night when you sleep. You would be affected by the traffic light, or the headlight of the cars when they go by, or if there are traffic jam, the noise of the horn will be even worse. So if you're renting a flat like that, think about moving to somewhere else. Yeah, so another noise disturbance could be like if you are not Muslim but you live near a Muslim mosque, or you live somewhere that where they use loudspeaker all the time for announcement. This would create quite a lot of noise disturbance. I remember when I traveled to Turkey, a Muslim country, and the hotel that we stay in is right near a Muslim mosque, and it rings like, I think the bell rings 5 times per day to remind the Muslim to pray. And the first one should be 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. I mean, really, really early in the morning. And even staying only a few days in the hotel makes me feel really annoyed, because as a tourist, I would not expect to wake up at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. every day, especially I'm a night owl. So I'm, with all respect, I am not against any kind of religious practice. I'm just saying, if you are not um, you're not if you're not Muslim, you don't need to stay near a mosque which reminds you of praying, and that's unrelated to your lifestyle. So make sure where you stay, the energy and the surroundings in your neighborhood actually fits your lifestyle, which is also something that you will be considering when you're choosing a new home. Another question I constantly get from you guys or my clients is that there are some houses like the picture over here, which they use a lot of glass. There's a lot of windows. There are a lot of mouth of the chi entering the house. Is it good or is it bad? So it depends. So the good side is that there would be a lot of light coming through the windows, which makes your room really bright, which is good, which is an enhancement of the chi inside the room. However, if you are turning all this window, if you are opening all this window all the time, and if you stay in a place where you feel like your home is always very windy, it means that the qi is flowing too fast within your home, or the qi is coming in your house and coming out from your house too fast, which create a strong energy flow. And when the energy is going too fast, going too strong, it's not beneficial for health. So, and it could also create leakage of wealth, because money comes and money goes too fast, which means the energy doesn't stay, and wealth energy doesn't stay when you live in a house which has too many chi mouths, which could be windows, which could be too many doors, or too many air conditioners. Could also um, could potentially incur this problem. But this is a proportionate problem, right? So I cannot say how many windows equals to too many females. It have to be proportional to the space you are in, to the size of your home, um, and that's how we make a decision whether this is too many or too few. Another thing about main door is that energy, when it comes in, it's best to have a place for it to slow down and for the energy to stay. So usually we would suggest the best scenario is that you have kind of like a foyer after you come in from the main door. So like some place right here on this picture, some foyer, some place for the energy to stay. Um, for convenience, this is also good, so that you would keep all your shoes right here, shoes cabinet right here. You can sit here to change your shoes, to put your umbrellas, to put on your jacket when you go out, and to keep all the clothing that might carry external germs right here, and don't bring it inside. Okay, so for hygiene purpose, for convenience purpose, this is also some kind of good practice to have a foyer place in front of the main door for the energy to stay. This also feels welcoming if you are having guests, and it's also welcoming in the sense that it welcomes energies to come in and stay. So what's not so good for the main door is that as long as you open the door from outside, when you look inward, there's immediately you see stairs either going up or going down. So the energy is not going directly into your living room, and it is diverting into two directions according to this picture. So right after you open the door from outside, when you come home, one part of the energy is diverted upstairs, one part of the energy is diverted downstairs, but they are not taking a horizontal way of flowing of the qi. So one is going upward slope, one is going the downward slope, which neither one is good for the slow, stable, and smooth energy flow for the entire house. So I would not recommend you to choose a house like that, because it would be much better, at least if you have some kind of foyer area right here before you go, you get on the stairs. And better still, if you can find a house with the stairs in elsewhere, not right in front of your main entrance, it will be much better. But I know this kind of design is pretty popular in Canada, or maybe some states in the United States as well. So I'm not sure if it's still popular for the new houses, but this is really not a good practice for, especially for the main door, and this is why a lot of household is not very happy when they stay inside this kind of household for a long time, because the energy flow is not smooth within the house. So sometimes the air comes downward here and it stops. Sometimes it go up here and it stops when the qi flow is not strong enough. So it means that those in the living room or in the bedroom cannot rely on the qi coming from the main door. They have to rely on all the qi from their windows, which makes the qi and the life force energy really, really weak within the house. Yeah, so this is very, very important, especially if you are finding a new home for now. This is something you want to bear in mind. Now, this is the balcony, so which is nice. You will see some space right here, and then there are some plants inside and outside the balcony with some greens, which also would gives out oxygen in the daytime. So this is considered a good balcony, although this is not a very big one. And that balcony in front of the main door with a welcome mat. So it seems like spacious according to this picture, although I do not know if we see from inside of the house, if the view straight in front of the main door is good or not. We will need another picture to see if that view is good, but by the picture like that, the balcony itself is good in terms of energy, because number one, there's no direct blockage of right over here in the spaciousness right here. And number two, there are some nice greens surrounding the balcony, so this is an okay design for a balcony. And then for the air conditioners, this is something that a lot of people miss. Usually you install an air conditioner near your windows, right? So you will clean your windows quite frequently, because you can visually see when the windows is dirty, when the glass is dirty or dusty. But you might forget to clean the inside of the air conditioner, or if this is the kind of air conditioner which you have separate um, equipment in different parts of your house. Some part of the equipment might be more difficult in cleaning, which you might need to hire help, which becomes less convenient for cleaning. But over time, because this is one of the chi mouth, it will affect the quality of your air inside the house. So this is also very important. So this is the air conditioner, which is very familiar for me because I live in Hong Kong. This would also be applicable if you use thermometer, if you have air warming machine in where you stay, and if there's any kind of filtering like this, the cleaning of the filters have to be critical for the air quality to be high. So this is the first aspect that we take a look at when we are trying to assess whether the chi and your living space is backing you up energetically or not. We take a look at where the chi, where the life force energy, or where the oxygen is coming in and coming out through your doors, your windows, your balcony, or your air conditioner. And then we take a look at the outside, at the external views. So if you live in really, really crowded cities, like I do, I live in Hong Kong, so this is pretty common to see a lot of tall buildings in your surroundings. And if you're living in a condo or an apartment in a high-rise building, it's pretty normal you will see other high-rise buildings surrounding you as well. And if that happens, which is you will see a really narrow gap between the buildings outside of your window. And if you are having this window open frequently, you can feel that. You can feel the energy from behind will flow through this really, really narrow gap and will become a very sharp airflow rushing into your window if this is the direction of the wind of the day. So what it brings is forceful and harsh energy to your house. And if you stand in front of that window, very often you could get a running nose or have some kind of nose allergy more frequently. So this is not good for health, and not because in Feng Shui usually we would love smooth and stable energy flow instead of really forceful or very, very sharp kind of energy. So we don't like this kind of narrow gaps between high-rise buildings. So usually our advice would be that you would put curtains right there. You would not open that window that frequent, so that the energy flows won't affect you that much. So that's how we kind of reduce the negative impact it might have to our household. The next thing is a more macro view of your building. So if you live in houses like that, say in an area of residential building, if you live in houses right like that, if there's a road that is straight forcing, and then some kind of road or even highway that comes straight into your door, if you are living in a house like that, and if your main door is on this side, which is when you open the main door, you would actually see the highway rushing into you, coming into you. Intuitively, you would know this is pretty dangerous in terms of Feng Shui. Number one is doesn't feel safe at all. There could be accidents, car accidents, anytime, especially at night when some people might be drunk driving. They cannot see there's the end of the road, and then it will come right into your house. It doesn't feel safe. And in a certain year when the negative star flies in front of your main door, then it could bring really hazardous negative energy to your household. So if you are living in houses like that, I recommend you to move as soon as possible. If I were you, I would not buy or rent a house like that. This is serious, much more serious than living in houses like that. comparatively, or having like neon light or noise disturbance outside of your house. This is pretty harsh, I would say, in terms of Feng Shui energy. Another example of the same thing is that maybe you are living in houses like that with the main door open in this direction facing the straight wall. So of course it depends on the traffic of this road, right? So it will be relatively less serious if the traffic of this road is very less. It will become much more, much harder, much harsher, much more dangerous if you are living if this road is a highway, is a road that with a lot of traffic. So in terms of intensity, of course, there's some kind of difference, but overall, this is not something that we would recommend it. Some people may say, they haven't experienced any bad even living in this kind of house. I would say it might be just that the star were not activated yet, because every year the flying star would visit a new sector and they would take turns. So maybe it's just not activated yet. It doesn't mean it won't happen. So in Feng Shui terms, this is never something that we recommend it if you are living right in front of a straight road with that kind of harsh energy. So I'm talking about living space here. So for example, on the contrary, if you are finding a store, a retail store, then this could be good. Yeah, but if you are talking about finding a living space, this is not good. And the reason why, if you're finding a retail store, this could be potentially good is that this is usually a good location where a lot of people gathers, a lot of traffic gathers. Yeah, so when you are doing sales and marketing, if you want good sales, it's always about location. And if you position yourself in a location with high traffic, you attract more people into your retail store. But we are talking about living space here, so this is not good for living space. Another thing that we would want to avoid is to live near electric power or 5G power like that, for obvious reasons, to avoid cancer potential, to avoid the radiations, or to avoid the 5G, or generally high intensity of energy to influence our decisions making, to influence the vibration in our head, which I believe is pretty obvious for a lot of people. So we've talked about the chi mouth, where the energy comes in and comes out. We've talked about the external views of your house. Now let's take a look where you sit and where you sleep. And are you feeling well supported by where you sleep and where you sit? Would highly depend on, number one, are you backed by a solid wall? So take a look at where you sit and where you sleep, and to check if you have a solid wall behind your seat and behind your desk and behind your bed as well. So normally we recommend your bed will be placed really backed by a solid wall, and then you will have a headboard as well to make you feel really safe and secure during nighttime. Because when we fall asleep, we will become pretty vulnerable from a human being, from a sense of an animal. Yeah, it will awaken our survival instinct when we were asleep, because we will fall into a vulnerable state, and it's best to make yourself feel safe when you are asleep. So this is the best way to position a bed, with your bed backed by a solid wall as well as a headboard. And then also take a look at the ceiling to see if there's any heavy object hanging about, Or is there any horizontal beams right above your head or your stomach or your foot when you are asleep? So for example, in this example, you can see the beams right here, which is not strictly above the bed, which is slightly better. So for example, if you in your living room you have beams like that right in front of you, you would intuitively know not to sit right under the beams, because when you sit under the beams directly, you could feel the air pressure from above, because when there are beams hanging from ceiling, the airflow becomes blocked right here. So when the wind comes from the window right here, it would turn around like this, right? Normally surrounding your living room or your bedroom. But then when there are beams right here, the air will go up to the beams and then comes down, and it will create a little circle right here, like that, which is not a smooth flow of the qi. So this is not considered good for your vibes in general, because when this is above your head, it would affect how you feel, how you think, the clarity of thought, and in general your decision making capacity. I also don't recommend you, if you live in a house that the ceiling is not very high. For very high, I mean if your ceiling is 2-story high, then it's still okay to have chandeliers like that, the really large and heavy kind of crystal light, if you have at least a 2-story high of a ceiling. But if it's not, this becomes a really heavy object that keep vibrating. And if you sleep underneath this kind of light, over time that would create really hazardous results to that area that sleep right under this kind of light object. So I would not recommend that if you have a normal ceiling. So usually the light, we would choose some kind that is round, that is smooth, that is that resembles the qi symbol, the yin yang symbol. Yeah, round stuff, smooth looking, without really a lot of sharpie objects. This is another designer house in small flats in Hong Kong, small apartments in Hong Kong. So you can see there's a hanging cabinet from the ceiling, and then the bed is right here. So when you sleep, your head is there and your feet will be underneath the hanging cabinet, which means that over time there will be leg problem, there will be knee problem, even if you stay in a house like that over time. So generally speaking, we do not like stuffed heavy items, heavy objects, or horizontal beams to hang above us, especially when we're sleeping for like 8 hours a day. Or if this is in your living room, your sofa would not be put right under a horizontal beam or a really heavy object above your head when you sleep. If you don't believe me, you can experiment and to put a fish tank or a living plant right under the beam or the heavy object, and to see the results of the living being, if they could survive like in a month. Probably not. And that really gave us help us understand why the energy flow, even if we can't see them, it exists inside the house. And this kind of object hanging from ceiling is really not good for the chi flow and of course our health. And when we don't have the vitality energy, we will make dumb decisions in life. And when we make dumb decisions in life, of course, our life would not be happy and fulfilled. So one more lens that I would love to share with you today, which is pretty advanced. To this point, it's to where to put your rubbish bin or the washing machine. So the rubbish bin, this is where we collect rubbish, right, inside the house, or the washing. Sorry, the washing machine involves a lot of energy, a lot of movement, as well as a lot of dirty water, right? So these two are important, and you want to make sure that you are not putting the washing machine nor the rubbish bin in the area of yourself or the important person inside the house, because that would again negatively impact the psychological health and the physical health of that person. So this is the Feng Shui Bagua map and the respective family members. You can screenshot this picture. This is a permanent Bagua map, meaning it would not change every year. So the southwest of every house, the southwest sector of every house represents the female head of household. And the northwest of every house represents the male head of household. So for example, if you live with your husband, with your youngest daughter living home with you, you would not want your rubbish bin and your washing machine to be placed in the southwest, the west, which represent your youngest daughter, nor the northwest. So if you don't have these family members in that particular home, then it's all right to place them anywhere. Yeah, so you get what I mean? So this is the permanent Bagua chart. And then to take this to another level, we will be overlaying the annual chart, which is the annual flying star, on top of this permanent Bagua chart. So for every year, I will tell you that where the number 2 and the number 5 is located. Number 2 represents the illness. Number 5 represents any accidents, any really serious disease, or really bad luck, in general bad luck, which is called the Hasan star. So number 2 and number 5 are the most serious, and number 7 is not good as well. So you would not want your rubbish bin and washing machine to be placed in, of course, the major position that represents your family members, and number 2, the annual bad luck star, which is the number 2, number 5, and number 7. And for 2001, this fall into the north, the southeast, as well as the northwest. So you can see the number 5 is the southeast. So when we reverse engineer this chart, it could mean that if your eldest daughter is staying in the southeast of your house, and then if you don't any Feng Shui cure and any Feng Shui strategy that I have suggested for you in February about how to normalize and to reduce the negative impact of the 5 star, and if your eldest daughter is staying in the southeast of the sector, she will fall sick, or she might get some heartbreaking events in her life, or she might have some kind of unhappy events that happens. So it would be quite easy if you invite a Feng Shui consultant in your house to talk about what is happening this year for you by only this, by only a Bagua map that is talking about the relationship to family members, which sector represent which family members, and the annual flying star. And by just these 2 charts, a Feng Shui consultant can tell you what could be happening inside your house if you live here right here. Doesn't it sounds really advanced and amazing? And do you want to learn even more? So I mean, this is a little bit more advanced than what you would usually learn online, but that's very, very interesting to me, and I believe it sounds interesting for you as well. And today we only have so little time to talk about this stuff, and there are so many other stuff that I haven't have time to cover yet, which talk about clutters, maybe the lighting, maybe the shop decor object. For example, is it good to put gemstone caves inside your house? My advice is no, especially the amethyst, the purple one, that kind of really, really large gemstone cave. This is I absolutely no to put inside your house, your living space. And I'll explain why in my Feng Shui for Bosses program. If we haven't talked about wall colors yet, we could bring a lot of impact to the feng shui, on the good side or on the bad side of your house. The lighting as well, really, really important topic. Are you using the same purpose in between your upper floor or your lower floor? For example, some houses are doing some remodeling, which above the kitchen, they have a kitchen on the ground floor, and then above that kitchen they remodel the house, and there's a bedroom right above on the second floor, right above the kitchen on the second floor. This is usually not good for health for the guy who are sleeping on the bedroom right above the kitchen, because the kitchen is that of fire energy. There's a lot of fire energy inside and action inside the kitchen. This is not good for health, but there's a lot more scenarios like that, which I will cover in the program. What would you if you cannot move your washing machine every year? And of course we can't, and what to do, and especially if your valve machine or maybe your toilet bowl fall into the valve sector, what can you do? Etc, etc, etc. There's so much to cover and so much to learn when you're learning this art of feng shui. So if you are interested to dive really deeper and then to know how you can apply feng shui in a really practical way into your living space, then this Feng Shui for Bosses program will teach you how to do this, as well as teach you business principles that you can use to apply Feng Shui directly onto your home-based business. So in this program, the Feng Shui for Bosses Fast Track program, in Module 1, I will talk everything about the core foundations of Feng Shui. So if you've been self-learning online and feel confused of all the concepts, because a lot of concepts contradicts with each other if you don't understand the basics. So I will explain all of that in the first module to make sure you have good foundations, you understand the 5 elements, you understand how you should be measuring your home direction, and to work with your floor plan, with your compass, what to do if you have an L-shaped floor plan, what to do you have a diamond-shaped floor plan, etc., etc., etc. And the 15 core feng shui principles. You will learn everything in Module 1 to make sure you have a good foundations. And then moving on to Module 2, we will start right in about attracting more clients to your space. We will talk about the difference between cash flow and wealth. We will talk about money mindset. We will talk about do's and don'ts for your home office. We will also talk about the 6 types of money in Feng Shui and the strategies that you can use in your wealth corner. We will also talk about how you can overlay the annual wealth star energies and apply that onto your natal wealth corner, and how to work with your personal key elements. So you see I put a lot of content for each module. So although this is supposed to be done on a weekly basis. For some of you, you might be taking it at your own pace. It's all right to take at your own pace, but I try my best to put a lot of information that is useful for that topic to enhance you. So if you have already some kind of Feng Shui basic knowledge and foundations, this program is also right for you, because I talk quite a lot of advanced stuff right from Module 2. And then for Module 3, we will talk about branding and soulmate clients. So this is more about working with your own astrology chart. So you will first understand your natal capacity of business model. You will get a free report from me to analyze your wealth potential based on your birth time, and based on those information, you'll be able to learn how you can apply that into your business. So in Module 3, we'll talk about brand identity and how to find yours. We will be doing a soulmate client profiling, so you will know who will be the best clients for your business. I will also teach you how to personalize your branding and marketing strategies, and how to use Feng Shui to attract the age group for your dream clients. And then for Module 4, it will be more related to the wellness part of the program. So besides being a Feng Shui consultant, I am also a certified traditional Chinese medicine wellness practitioner, meaning I am equipped with knowledge to help you in terms of increasing your vitality. And then with Feng Shui, we will also know how to increase your productivity by positioning yourself in a place where you feel at peace with yourself and at peace with the world. So in this module, we'll talk about body, mind, spirit connections. I will give you all the exercise and small hacks that you can use to increase your productivity. We'll talk about how you can eat, sleep, and move to thrive while working from home. So this module is all about wellness and vitality, which is all about mental clarity. Ultimately, we want to have a high energy body so that we feel healthy, we feel courageous in life, to help you make better decisions, whether it's life decisions or it's business decision. And then in Module 5, we'll talk about the Feng Shui manifestation method, which I'll teach you something more advanced, and how you can turn your intention into reality with the help of Feng Shui. Module 6 will put everything together to integrate what you learn and to apply it to houses. So we will talk about how to do a Feng Shui audit room by room. We will talk about case studies to try to apply all the strategies that we have learned over the previous modules, and to take a look at real homes of different kinds. And I will also share Feng Shui hack, that is advanced strategies, for you every year. So you get lifetime access when you join me now in this Feng Shui for Bosses program. And the lifetime access doesn't mean that the content will stay there unchanged. It means that every single year I will update the advanced Feng Shui strategy plans and hacks just for you guys. So if I'm not updating the teaching, the main learning content for the program, which is not true, and every few months I'm actually updating slightly for the modules. Yeah, I mean the learning content every few months I'm updating slightly on those things, and I will be keep adding new modules over the years later on. But even if we don't talk about the learning content updates, at least if you join this program now, you'll get lifetime access, and every year, every Chinese New Year, I will definitely update the advanced Feng Shui strategy plans just for you for that particular year. And by accessing this alone, you will have a much upper hand compared to folks around you, because you get advanced stuff every year. And then this is a new module, module 7, that I will be filming very soon, which I will talk about the Feng Shui manifestation method 2.0. And why I call that 2.0 is that I'm combining Feng Shui with working with power days, working with the space, working with the direction, working with a particular kind of breath work, which is particularly powerful to activate your intuition and your manifestation power. It will also include elemental activation and dream seeding. This is the favorite topic that I would love to share with you. And I will teach you how to combine all this so that you can optimize the efficiency and the effectiveness of your Feng Shui manifestation. So these are all the topics that I will be covering in this Feng Shui for Bosses program. I call this a fast track program, which for now it consists of 7 modules, which take you at least 7 weeks to finish all of them. But I guarantee you, you can take it slowly, you can learn it at your own pace, and it's worth the investment. The investment is 198 if you join me, including all the bonuses, which you will see on the page. I mean, this is a content-rich program, and the essence is, if you have been following me for a while, you have been listening to my daily training in the previous 3 days, and today you will know that my style of teaching is pretty clear and simple. I try to make everything straightforward, and I use very simple words because English is not my first language. I can use really simple words to express myself, and I use a lot of graphics, a lot of keyword highlights on the slides, so you would definitely be able to understand me throughout the program. And this is perfect if you have been curious about Feng Shui for quite some time, but you haven't figured it out all yet on your own, because you're getting a lot of noise from the internet space. You're getting a lot of contradicting concepts from different schools of teaching, which make it very difficult for you to apply to your Feng Shui. So this is purely designed for you to learn and apply to your living space. So this is not a program to train the trainer, to train Feng Shui practitioners. So I want to make that clear. If you're looking for a train-the-trainer program where you will be trained to become a Feng Shui practitioner, this is not the program for you. I am doing this program to train you up to become able to do the Feng Shui for your own house, or maybe if you want to practice and want to make it more advanced, you can help your friends, and slowly and gradually, as you accumulate more experiences by assessing houses and apartments, and you might also need a mentor to help you do that and to take you visit more homes, and over time you would then be ready for a Feng Shui for practitioners program. But this is not this program that I'm teaching right here. This is a fast track program for you to learn and apply. It's all about learn and apply, which is my ultimate goal for having this business anyhow. So so if you have been curious about Feng Shui and you're really ready to dive deeper, ask yourself right now, are you ready to call back and align all the energies within you and around you, so that you can finally focus on channeling your magic and expressing your genius into your business? So if this is you, this Feng Shui for Bosses program is for you. So if you're curious, check out this website, chooseful.com/bosses, and learn more about the program and to see if this is for you. So this is day 4 of the training, and then for day 5 we will talk something more personal on how you can use your personal lucky elements to increase your vibrations so that you can quicken your manifestation results. So I'll talk to you again tomorrow on the day 5 training. So right now, if you have been pondering if this is the right program for you, I cordially invite you to visit the website chooseful.com/faucet to check out the program and to really take a look at the topics that I will be teaching and to see if this is right for you. So I will talk to you